This lesson will provide additional information to improve your coding experience in Jupyter. Earlier, we discussed executing a cell either by referring to this tiny triangle here or by applying any of the following commands: Control and Enter, Shift and Enter, Alt and Enter. These three are examples of Jupyter shortcuts. The exciting part is that there are many more you can use to accelerate your coding experience. First, make sure you're in command mode. You can check this by confirming that no cursor is blinking in any cell, or simply press Escape to enter command mode. Once you've done that, either go to the Help menu and choose Show Keyboard Shortcuts, or, as suggested, use the Control, Shift, and H shortcut to access the desired list. I'll use the keyboard combination. A new window will appear, showing each operation on the left and its corresponding shortcut on the right. Let's scroll down a bit to see if you recognize any of the shortcuts listed here. Aha! Enter Edit mode is triggered by pressing the Enter key. What else? Here are the commands we just mentioned for running a selected cell: Control and Enter and Alt and Enter. Great! You can always refer to that list while coding, because in your practice, you'll increasingly need more functionalities and operations. The best way to use this feature is to check the desired shortcut, close the Keyboard Shortcuts window, and apply the functionality in question. To achieve this, you can either press the Escape button on your keyboard, or hit the Close button at the bottom right of the window, or click elsewhere on the screen. Okay. Now let's explore a different Jupyter functionality you'll find very handy. Without focusing on the syntax, consider the following cell containing a comment and two lines of code. One indicating that the value of a variable x will equal 3 plus 5, and another printing the value of that variable, x. Press Control and Enter to execute this code, and you'll obtain the value 8 as an output. Open the View menu, and you'll see an option to collapse items. For example, select Collapse Selected Code to hide your written code. See? The code disappeared. Only the comment and output remained. To bring it back, select Expand Selected Code from the same menu. You might wonder why we're highlighting this shortcut. In this example, the output doesn't take up much space, but this feature becomes especially useful when working with longer code. Another shortcut worth mentioning is pressing Shift and L. In the Shortcuts menu, you'll see that Shift and L is used to show or hide line numbers. Close the Keyboard Shortcuts window, and then select the cell again. Hold Shift and press the L key. You now see line numbers displayed along the left side of each row. Once again, the line numbers may seem unnecessary for shortcode, but as your code grows, they become helpful, especially when collaborating with others to troubleshoot or review work. It's incredibly useful that you can, among others, cut, copy, paste, and delete cells. To apply these cell-level commands, hover over each icon to see its function, then click to use it. Since we are keen supporters of ergonomics, we suggest you get used to the keyboard shortcuts. When coding, you will mainly have to use the keyboard, so it's worth memorizing different keyboard combinations that would allow you to work faster. Let's see how we can apply shortcuts in practice. I will cut this cell by selecting it, and then pressing the X key. Remember, you can always use the arrow keys to navigate along your notebook file. So, I will move up and then directly press the V key to paste it. Voila! My cell has moved up here, below the cell I had selected before I pressed the V key. Now, I will press C to copy the same cell. I will use the arrow keys again to go down this time, and at the end, I will press V again. Apparently, this cell was copied and pasted below. Next, Holding Ctrl, Shift, and pressing the upward or downward arrow allows you to move a selected cell up or down, just as I am doing right now. Notice that the corresponding output field moves along with its input cell. Lovely! 3 other shortcuts could accelerate your coding a lot. Suppose I have selected this cell. After I press the A key, a new empty cell will be inserted above. If I select the same cell and press B, another cell will be created just below. Imagine the last step was a mistake, and I need to delete that empty cell. In this case, it has already been selected, so I can press the D key twice, and it will readily disappear. Wonderful! All the cells we saw so far were code cells. Let's see what is a markdown cell. It is a cell that contains strictly documentation, text not executed as a code. It will contain some message you would like to leave to the reader of the file. To convert a selected cell into a markdown cell, you should either expand this list and opt for Markdown, or simply press the M button. Press Enter to access the cell and type some text. When I run this cell, the output will be a simple statement. Now, if you want to turn a markdown cell back to a code cell, select it and opt for Code from this drop-down menu. Or press the Y key. To conclude, there are 2 advantages of using Jupyter. First, when your code becomes longer, markdown cells turn out to be useful, as they allow you to leave comments and explain the solution you've created. This is why practitioners love to use them. The other benefit of using this app is you can select and execute whichever cell you want to. You need not run all the previous cells to run a particular cell. This allows for solving a problem in pieces and saves a lot of computation time. This was a long but indispensable lesson. In the next one, we'll continue with handling errors while coding. Thanks for watching.